Well, it took a few games to get here, but Pens win! 4-3 in a shootout, and we're on the board, baby. We're on the board. I don't need to drink alcohol this video because we won. And yeah, you don't want to know what happens when they lose. When they lose, I have an alcohol, and then I go to the gym, and I get on a bike for 30 minutes. That's my punishment if this team loses. And I'm not even involved. Horrendous start for the game for me, as yours truly is in Australia, if you haven't worked out by the accent thus far. And yeah, these afternoon starts aren't fun for me because that's 4 a.m. So yeah, if I was getting up that early, which I did, and they lost, I don't think I would have been thrilled. So I'm glad they won it. I think they won it for me. They really won it for me. Usually I don't take show notes either, but at 4 a.m. I wasn't remembering anything, so I did take some notes. But let's start at the start, shall we? First things first, before we jump straight in, Lundqvist, out of hospital now. He's had successful surgery. He's back home with his family. Technically, he's a Washington Capital, but like, also not. But I mean, just it's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing. Slightly annoying that in the picture, him leaving the hospital is still like amazingly good looking. Like him on his worst day, leaving a hospital, is still like a million times better looking than me. Who looks like I have just left a hospital. Also, speaking of capitals that aren't really capitals, Chara is just, it hasn't, no. I don't like it. I know he played for other clubs before there. I know he played for other places besides Boston, but he only really played for Boston. We can all agree on that. And also, can we, like, just go to NHLstore.com and buy some branded masks for the Penguin coach staff? All the other coach staff have branded masks, and we just have normal ones. I know I shouldn't be making plight of the fact that, like, it's COVID and we're wearing masks, but, like, they're like $12. Like, go buy one. Like, every other sport, they're all in, like, F1s and stuff like that. It's all branded masks, and there's, like, our team that's just, like, yeah, the Costco version of just mask, just, like, mask, black. Just get the logo on there. Get some brand recognition. Also, the backup goalie had a mask on, and Jari just kept doing this. I don't think he knows how germs work, but like, jerseys don't work. And one other thing with backup goalies, and this is just naivety here, I played hockey for so long, and it only just dawned on me that backup goalies wear their pads and their gloves for the whole game. Like, on. Why? It can't be comfortable. Just sitting there for 3 hours. Well, I get the pads being on, I get it, and I get having your helmet nearby, but why are they there? Why are they on? Anyway, let's jump into the game, because this has already gone off topic. Well, it started off great for the Penguins. They launched out of the gates, and first liner, Evan Rodriguez, is not for much longer I could say that, ends up scoring a goal. After Crosby almost scored a goal just like on his back, doing one of these ones. It was like almost like that Ovi goal that he scored, except he wasn't sliding against Arizona, or Phoenix back then, like, 15 years ago now. Yeah, that goal would be about 15 years old. That's depressing. But yeah, Dumoulin with his head up, looked like he was going to shoot the puck. There was a small screen just in front, so when he went to wind up, yeah, it looked like it was going to go in, and then slap past, and Rodriguez definitely, I don't get how that's not distinct kicking motion, because he definitely, like, there's definitely a little bit of a kick. But I'm glad it's a goal. If that Konecny won the other day as a goal, which I thought was a goal, this is a goal. And there's 1-0. We're off to the races. The Penguins are off to the races. And this is the moment that it dawned on me that I was watching an NBC feed of the game, and I was like, I just miss Doc. I just miss Doc Emmerich. It was that moment that I was like, as much as I like John, I think he's a great commentator actually, but he's just not Doc Emmerich. You either love Doc or you just meh. But like, yeah, I missed him a bit. And then, the game kind of just flowed for the next 5 minutes. There wasn't too much that happened. Tanev took a really big shot in the face-off, and I was like, oh my god, that's like our entire team if he goes down. But no, he's fine. Our spirit animal is fine. Our stoned, like, there's no way that dude's ain't doing edibles. But yeah, he's definitely the spirit animal of this team. That third line's great at the moment. They didn't get a goal this today, but like, I mean, they could have. They were great. Ovi was probably the first player of the Capitals to really get a chance. They were out of shot for quite a while. Tried to toe drag, but Rukala was right there to stop it. And the big thing about that is, because of that, it led to a power play immediately after for the Penguins. And I just wanted to take this moment to realize that, like, I know last year was not great, and like we got Matheson and CC now, even though Matheson's going on IR for a while, and Jack Johnson, and we've had a cavalcade of horrible defenders. I just want to take this small moment to say Rukala and Ruedel weren't bad today, at all. Like, I didn't notice them do anything wrong, which is what you want. Like, they were a pretty good third pairing, actually. I was kind of like, oh. I got to the end of the game, and, like, just the notes that I had were, like, small little positive ones about them, and I just had nothing negative to say. And I was like, and I really do find negative things to say about a lot of people, and I was just like, oh, good on them. But yeah, the power play was unsuccessful. I mean, they really need to figure that out. It's unsuccessful all evening. And really, they haven't had much success outside of, like, Crosby getting a gimme goal from Hart the other day. I don't know what you need to change. I don't like Rust with that line. I think maybe even put Tanev in there and just shove him in front of the net. Like, they missed Holmquist. Like, there's no doubt in my mind they missed Holmquist there. I just don't... Malkin also, like, we'll get to Malkin's game. Like, he doesn't belong on that power play either. So, yeah, I don't know what you do to change it, but... and then after a good period of, again, 2 or 3 minutes of sustained pressure by Washington, they do end up creating a fit. They're just kind of buzzing around the net. They're able to cause a lot of chaos, and usually that's the real issue for the Penguins. If there's a lot of chaos in front of the net, they don't have a great presence in front of the net. Oh, they can do it sometimes, but when it goes bad, it goes horrendously bad. And Dowd was able to squeak a puck through it. And when I mean a squeak a puck through, it just went over before a stick was able to get on it. Good goal, but good goal, so a 1-1. And this is where the Penguins have struggled all season. I know it's only been 3 games, but a goal gets scored on them, and then almost immediately after, another goal scored on them. And it happened again today. Crosby tried a little bit too hard with the puck, and, like, to be honest, the rest of his game was pretty fantastic, and again, we'll get to him. So I'm not really going to fault him. Wilson just came at him. He lost his stick. I tried kicking it back to Marino, who... was really worried about the Wilson hit. If you go watch the replay, he kind of ducks out of it a little bit, and which is fair enough. The dude does, like, blast people into, like, the 9th stand, so that at some certain point, like, logic goes out the window and your brain's like, I want to survive. And so he ducks out of the way. Wilson's able to give that in front of the net because nets off, who then, it ends up just being right in front for Ovi. He just taps it in. First goal of the season for him, and it is 2-1, and all of a sudden it's kind of like shades of, like, the Philly games. Just those 2 quick goals. It was the problem last year too, was that teams were able to score in clumps. So that was the real issue. Then they immediately give up another power play, and this is where I was like, okay, so this is almost identical to the last game, giving up 3 goals early after going off to a great start and just undoing all of that good work through stupid mistakes. And it seemed like they were going to do that. This team's working hard. It's not like they were what they were in the bubble. This team is working hard, so you can't blame their work ethic. It's just I'm gonna keep saying it. Work smarter, not harder, and they really are undoing that good work that they either set the tone for the first 5 minutes or put in an early goal, and then it's immediately erased and then 2 more are put on. That could have happened here, really could have. But DeSmith, who I don't think was the best goalie in the world today, but he was solid enough. Like he did his job. It would have been nice if he saved one of those 2 to sort of keep them going. And that's the thing about the Penguins is whenever they make a mistake, there hasn't been a goalie thus far this season, and again, it's only been 3 games, that has made that save to bail them out. And of like a horrendous mistake. Where they play teams that have. And I think that's hurt them a bit. And then, the period ends 2-1. The one thing I'd say about the Penguins is in this first period, and it was something they definitely adjusted, just way too many passes. Way too many passes up front of the net. There was some really good shooting lanes. Patterson had like 4 good shots. There was a chance that Gensel had, but he wanted to pass it back in. Just sometimes put it on the net. Just wire. I think the fact that Hart played that well kind of got in their head a little bit. But sometimes it's just a goalie's hot, right? And you just gotta keep playing your way and goals will go in. Period starts, and for the second game out of 3, a goalie makes a horrendous mistake, and the Penguins are able to capitalise. Samsonov goes to play the puck behind the net. Bluger knows exactly what's going to happen. I love the fact that he's been a real water bug at the start, so I'm glad that he gets a point. He's able to put it straight in front of Skiva, and Skiva gets his first goal as a Pittsburgh Penguin. So just... yay. I was pretty happy with that one. Penguins get a few power plays. Again, no luck on them. And this was the moment that they probably could have used that to get the lead. Washington made mistakes. And I feel like this team is going to be very similar to Washington and very similar to Boston, and they're going to so getting this win is massive because I do think they're very equal, these two teams, and yeah, it's just you can tell that they're just not playing perfect hockey, especially right now. It'll be interesting to see if one of them can sort of jump up to another level, but yeah, anything but perfect right now. Samsonov ends up rubbing Zucker right in front of the net just after the power plays. Then DeSmith does a really good save against Kuznetsov. It just seemed like whatever you can do, we can do better. And then the Penguins become their worst enemy again. They give up a power play. Gensel gives up one. Not the worst penalty in the world. And then they get a penalty. Oshie gets an interference call. And it's immediately just like, oh, thank God. It's only 20 seconds. It's fine. And then they immediately give up a power play again. Just the Penguins do it. And then it's 4-on-3. And they end up scoring. It's 3-2. After a pretty big tic-tac-toe play, Backstrom scores a pretty easy goal, pretty routine for him. It's 3-2, and you're your own worst nightmare there. But then, again, this Penguin team just didn't go away. Even though they're making mistakes, they're making them right. And Patterson, who obviously was given a memo during the period break to shoot a puck, goes bar down. Boy, was that a good shot. You just forget sometimes how skilled defenders are and then they pull something that off and you're just like, where did that come from? Because I mean, a lot of the time they have to keep their game simple and just be there positionally, and then every now and then you just see, that is unbelievable, that shot. Like, it's just ridiculous. There's no stopping that, and it's 3-3. And that is the way the game would stay until the shootout. I mean, obviously a lot happened in between. We'll get to that, but that's the scoring. Towards the end of the second period, the Penguins were really rallying at this point. Crosby was starting to get his game going. I felt like he was getting pretty frustrated with some of the chances that were being thrown away. Like, he would kind of be on a 2-on-1, he'd give it to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez is just not at that level. It's just not fair that he's playing at that top line. Just bobbles the puck and wastes it. There was another time in overtime where Marino had a really good chance after Crosby just so much edge work and just getting out of trouble. Zucker just gave it to Marino, and it really should have been a goal, and he missed it. The other thing I noticed was that Zucker and Rust, I think, are starting to get their games going. They were very quiet in the first two games. I think that might have a lot to do with Malkin. Those two guys are starting to show that it's like, yeah, we're young, it's all fine. Malkin right now is just lagging so far behind. Like, next time, or go back and watch this game and just look at some of their rushes and just see how late Malkin is to the rush. Because it's like two 27-year-olds just going nuts, and then followed by a guy who's 92, reminiscing about the good old days during the Blitz where you got to sit in a bunker and eat Spam. It's just, he's way behind. I can't imagine age is that bad on him. So there must be an injury somewhere. There must be something, or it might just be a bit out of shape and it might work out in 2 weeks. But I don't know. I really don't know, because he is really behind Malkin, and and even though the commentators he's definitely warming up in the third period, I didn't really see it. I mean, he still has skill and stuff like that, but whenever he shot, he got a one-timer that was just low and flat with no real energy to it. He had that backhand on overtime that went wide, and it was just these are mistakes that an unfit, skilled person would make. So I'm hoping it's that. I'm hoping it's not an injury. I'm definitely hoping it's not just age, but I don't know what the deal is there with Malkin. Third period goes. As you know, there's no scoring until the shootout. So, the Penguins get out and they get a power play where McCann just wires a puck at Dylan, hit him in the hand, and I was like, oh boy, it doesn't get much more painful than that. And I swear he looked at the camera and just said, oh yeah, just blast one into Chara. And I was like, come on, man. Chara's 54 years old. Let's just give him a small break here. But credit to him, he got back up. Yeah, cause he tumbled down. He went down, and when Chara goes down, it's not a little thing. It's a huge mite falling down. It's like a tree. I was just like, oh boy, and he popped back up and continued killing penalties. God, that such a handy signing for this team. It really is for the Capitals. Again, it's still weird to see him out there, but it's a good signing thus far. The Penguins get a weird too many men ice penalty, which is 3 games in a row they managed to do that. Dumoulin was just getting off the ice, and the puck, they said it hit him in the foot, but then they didn't play any of the replays anymore, and it looked like it came off the ref. Like, I played it again and I was like, I'm pretty sure it came off the ref and not him, and that's why the linesman closest was like offside, but the further linesman was like, no, it hit him. The look on Crosby's face when Malkin's just going nuts at the ref, and the ref's explaining it, and the look of him is just like, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. And he just does these ones. And again, Sullivan doesn't have the branded mask, so I'm just like, where's the branded mask? Yeah, Ovi, and then on that penalty kill, I was kind of like, great, they're going to lose again by a too many men penalty. That's going to be the thing I'm going to make this video. Because the last video is titled Too Many Men, because it's what cost us. And yeah, Ovi ends up double posting it off just an absolute... I mean, he's still got the shot, right? Like, it doesn't matter. He's still got the shot. Bang, bang. DeSmith was nowhere near that. For those people who are, like, in the Facebook comments, like, Jari's done, DeSmith's where it's at. He didn't have a bad game, but he's not the be-all and end-all. He is not the savior of this franchise, trust me. And then, probably my favourite moment of the game was when Tanev lost his helmet and then got into the play, and then ref was like, no, you can't do that. So instead of going directly off to the bench, he charges at the defender, and then when he passes it to the other defender, who's towards the bench, he charges at that, gets in the way, and then puts his hands in the air as if a good field goal has just been kicked. I think that's it, right? The umpires do that. And yeah, that was it. Like, it was just the weirdest thing in the world to see him clearly get in the way. Like, there's nothing but getting in the way. Just like, I'm not doing anything. My hands are in the air. This is the universal sign that I'm doing nothing wrong. Then overtime hits, and that was just a treat. That was just fun. That was 5 minutes just non-stop. Like, that was... Ovi had like a 2-minute 10 shift in the middle of it. The Penguins had some really good chances. Like I said, Malkin missed out on one. Marino missed out on one. Crosby just... His edge work was just like, oh my goodness gracious. There's people that are like, Crosby's done. I mean, he's got 2 points thus far, and he definitely could have had 3 or 4, added another 1 or 2 today. Yeah, definitely not. Go watch that shift and tell me that Crosby's finished. Nah, he's still got a few good years left in him. But yeah, then it goes to a shootout. DeSmith was really good in the shootout. I'll give him credit there, even though I thought that the Washington players were a little bit lazy. It started with Letang. Letang went forehand. Universally, we know you can only score backhand, so what are you doing? Malkin didn't do that great. Oshie, yeah, managed to stop Oshie, but yeah, like, it just seemed like... Kuznetsov just lost the puck and then, like, had to go pick it back up again. Ovi fired it wide, and then Gensel just... Yeah, what a move. What a move. Like, he just did the fake kick, which I always love the fake kick. It just looks so good. And then he just tapped it in 5-hole. Just tapped it in casual as you like, and then just walked off casual as you like. Just like, yeah. Yeah, I just did that. Yeah. And then, and then DeSmith with the save, and the Penguins win. Get a huge 2 points. It's pretty crazy for Washington, because this is, I think, the 3rd game that they've been in overtime or shootout in a row thus far in 4 days. So, long, I know it's only 5 minutes and a shootout extra, but like, yeah, anything to save yourself from blocking a shot here or there is definitely worth it. So, and they're against the Devils too, who, I mean, outside of Blackwood, aren't exactly the best. So, yeah. The next game is against Washington Capitals in 2 days, so on Wednesday. So that's the next time you'll see one of these videos. Yeah, probably about the same time as this one. Even though it was a super early game, it pretty much bang on finished when my work started, so I had to record this afterwards. But it was just a fun game. It was a good game today, and I'm glad that the boys got the win. Massive for this. Just 3-0 down would 0-3 would have just. It wouldn't have been the be-all end-all, but it would start to be like the next game. Like, you don't want to be like 5 games into a season and be like, this is must win. Like, you don't want that. So yeah, so just big. Hopefully to do well next Wednesday as well, but I can see the upward trajectory of improvement. It's light years from that first game. And bear in mind, that Flyers team's good. So yeah, 3 stars today. So the 3rd star, I'll give it to Tanev. I mean, just the hands up thing, he gets a star for that. It's, yeah, I mean, of course. 2nd star, I'll give to Tom Wilson. He didn't get suspended in the Pittsburgh Penguins game. I feel like that's worthy of 2 stars. And the 3rd, and then the 1st star, I'm going to give to the block that was in front of the Scevia goal. No, actually, you know what? I'm going to give it to the camera that was behind the boards that, like, is a GoPro that runs in 240p, 180p, and, like, that was the reason why the Skivia goal was in. Even though I didn't know what the commentators were saying. Like, they were just like, it came off the post, and you see this white board just at the goal. And yeah, that was just odd. But yeah, that's definitely getting the first star for me, is that camera, because without that, I don't think that would have been a goal. Which is just crazy, because it was the worst. It was the worst camera ever. Like, it was such low quality. And he just like, oh yeah, that's the only reason that goal counted. It looks like a hose. Like, it just looks like a little hose that's just sticking out there, like a spy camera. But anyway, Anyway, great game, guys. If you did like this video, hit the like button. Otherwise, hit subscribe down below. We're super close to 500, so if you could help us get over that, that would be awesome. And comment down below, did you enjoy this game? Did you disagree with anything that I said? Did you agree with anything that I said? Do you have anyone you'd recommend this video to? Whoa, mixing up the ending. Anyway, guys, I'll see you on Thursday. I'll probably put out a video tomorrow. I'd say I'll have time to be able to do that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See you, and bye. And I also just realized that the next game's not 2 days away, it's 3 days away. Because it's going to be my Thursday. Or is it my Wednesday? No, the next game's Tuesday. It's my Wednesday. Time zones, right? Anyway, have fun.